Hey, welcome back to Trek on the Tube. This is another Star Trek review and Easter eggs video. We're talking Star Trek Discovery, Season 3, Episode 7, Unification 3. For those that are new fans of Star Trek and haven't yet explored all of the different shows the franchise has to offer, yes, this is, in spirit, a continuation of the episodes Unification Part 1 and Unification Part 2 from the 5th season of The Next Generation. But no, you do not have to see the original two-parter to understand and enjoy this Discovery episode. Now, of course, if you do want to go back and watch them, you will get some added context. Maybe it'll provide more emotional depth and value to Burnham's story. Also, there's a bit of backstory when it comes to the Vulcan-Romulan struggle, etc. But as I said, you don't need to go and watch them. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I do want to take just a few more seconds to mention that I had originally planned on releasing a bit of a bonus video this Sunday. I was gonna do a little something about the Royal Mail Star Trek Stamps collection that they recently released, and I still will. I will do that video, just not this week. That'll be next week, because this Sunday I have another bonus video prepared. It's me in the kitchen. Oh yeah. Anyway, Unification 3, and as you probably have noticed, I'm stalling, and that's because I don't really know what to say. Oddly enough, and as controversial as it may seem, I simply can't bring myself to care about this episode. I'm sorry, it wasn't bad. You know, like, it didn't piss me off. Saru naming Tilly temporary first officer is a very strange move and doesn't seem very justified, but then again, it's temporary. Maybe it's a bizarre way of giving her work experience, and come on, it's temporary because Burnham's gonna get her position back, I'm assuming. Other than that, I mean, Mother Burnham is now part of the Qowat Milat. The Vulcans and Romulans are now united. They are now the Navarre, even if relations aren't at an all-time high. On one hand, this is all interesting, and in the grand scheme of things, from a lore perspective, you know, the world building of it all, it's nice. And yeah, seeing Nimoy again was fun and a bit emotional, but as far as the episode is concerned, none of it really hit me or mattered to me. Frankly, nothing happened. We just spent another 50 minutes in the world of Star Trek. I mean, there was a debate. I don't know. Look, if we're being honest, here's the problem. There are things good and bad that I could address, but none of them are specific to this episode. All of the potential complaints or praise I could go over are not Unification 3 elements. They are Star Trek Discovery things. Things that I've either already talked about or will talk about when they come up again in a future episode. Which kinda means this episode stands out from the rest of the show in no way other than the fact it has been designated a tie-in to The Next Generation. Yeah, I kind of don't know what else to say. As Starfleet Boy pointed out on Twitter, during our weekly conversation, I did say a lot of things, and that's because I guess it's easier to bounce off other people and what they bring to the table, but here and now, for my own Unification 3 video, I don't have that many thoughts. The episode is what it is, I guess. Take it or leave it. I gave it a 5 out of 10, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, there's nothing really with it. Before we do move on to the Easter eggs and references, however, yes, already, I do want to say it's the story of the episode that didn't necessarily work for me. I guess all the rest was impeccable. The performances, the directing, the makeup, all of that was great. The props, you know, the aesthetics of the Navarre culture, how it blended Vulcan and Romulan elements, all that was great. So a big congratulations to everyone on that. It's high quality. Alright, Easter eggs and references. The episode is called Unification 3. It is a follow-up to the Next Generation episodes Unification Part 1 and Unification Part 2. Those episodes were special back then because they featured the return of two characters from the original series, Sarek and Spock, both portrayed by the respective original actors, Mark Lenard and Leonard Nimoy. Here in Part 3, we get a Spock cameo. This is footage taken from that two-parter. We also hear mention of Jean-Luc Picard, captain of the Enterprise D, in The Next Generation. He, of course, was greatly involved in that original Unification story. Continuing on with Vulcan-Romulan related things, for a long time in the Star Trek universe, it was unknown to the characters, or rather to humans, that Vulcans and Romulans are in fact the same people that simply split into two cultures thousands of years ago. The Discovery and her crew are from a period in time where that was still unknown. That's why the Admiral had to fill them in. If you want to learn more about both species, I do have videos on them. I'll put links in the description. The new symbol for the people of Navarre is a blend between the raptor's wings of the Romulans and the Idic of the Vulcans. There's also a lot of that going on in the backgrounds. There are Romulan classic logos and Vulcan classic logos and symbols that we can see throughout the episode. Navarre, the name itself, which now designates both the United People and the planet. The planet used to be known as Vulcan. It is apparently a word that is supposed to mean something along the lines of the joining of two halves. So of course that makes it very fitting. Also, we've already seen a Vulcan ship called the Navarre back in Enterprise. The Vulcans, by the way, in Enterprise have this stubborn, we know we're right attitude when it comes to scientific discovery, and that comes back in this episode. I mean, it plays quite a big part of it. And Burnham drops a fascinating, which is clearly a reference to Spock from the original series and how he would say that quite a lot. The Quant Milat, which is the order of Romulan warrior nuns that Burnham's mother is now a part of, was first introduced in Star Trek Picard, and to finish off all this Romulan/Vulcan stuff, the torches, the ceremonial gong, it all matches what we've seen before in the franchise when it comes to Vulcan tradition and ceremony. Moving on to the SB-19, the new way of moving about the galaxy presented to us here, I found it to be reminiscent of so many different sci-fi portals, Stargate, Babylon 5, but also the Borg transwarp conduits and those transwarp apertures we got in Star Trek Voyager, and of course that catapult thing from that one episode. Memory Alpha will probably help me with this. And finally, last but very much not least, we hear mention of the USS Yelchin. And of course that is very much a nod to our beloved Kelvin Chekhov actor himself, Anton Yelchin. He was taken from us a few years back now, and it was nice to hear him honored in this way. He was only like 27. Alright, that's it. Very short review and only a few Easter eggs. I'm sorry for not caring too much about this episode. That's just, I suppose that's just how I feel. I'm sorry I don't see the glory of the episode. But then again, it's not, it's not bad either. It just is. Alright, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Leave a comment telling me what you think about this episode and what you think about anything. And yeah, thank you so much to the channel patrons, and as usual, live long and prosper.